Hey, what's going on, everyone? Astrologer Eric Rosen here for Viking Rising Astrology, your daily horoscope for Monday, October 28th, 2024. I had a double check. 2024. See me 2025 soon. We're going to be going through a dark night of the soul tunnel as a collective, but we're not there yet. But what we can start doing is using this Scorpio energy, Sun and Scorpio with Mercury, to investigate, I'd say, our belief systems is a big deal right now. You got that Venus going through Sagittarius, Chiron still making aspects to Jupiter. So we're definitely taking actions and, manifesting our reality very much based upon what we believe right now. We still have to check the facts of things, but, it's the data is going to come in of whatever it is that you're really, truly believing in. And I think we all have to see, are we actually playing from a powerful place, where we know our true identity and that we're not also shackling ourselves though to like a way of restricting ourselves from achieving something that we need either for our security or even just like for the better long-term reality. This is a lot to sort through. This is about going through the mental, the emotional, the spiritual realms of things and having to like process all of it. And so what I really want to say is like this period really for the next few days, starting today, it's already been going on since yesterday, but it's like really before we make any pretty significant decisions, we need to check in on every level. Which that's always good wisdom, but right now, as I put out, kind of a red flag warning over the weekend that these moves that we're making, the strategy that we're doing with life, like, is it good for the long term or is it more of a coping mechanism to just survive in a pattern because we're afraid of playing a bigger game and we want to stay comfortable? We've got to check in. Does it make sense logically? It's worth looking at. What is spirit saying? Like, establish your spiritual connection. That's number one. It's like, what is it that you need? What are your, go-tos for making sure that you feel good and grounded and connected? How are you feeling emotionally? This is definitely a time to be processing grief, forgiveness work. I mean, I see a lot of that. Everyone's going to be a different place across the board. So, you might have to spend more time on one of these phases than the other, and this mental, emotional, spiritual, and the physical level too, right? How's your body feeling, right? How's your bank account? Like, are you taking care of your basic physical, reality needs? And so I would almost draw 4 circles on a piece of paper and, write what you really need to feel your best, to go to your next level. Identify what those things are, and whatever bubble you fill up with the most, that's the thing that you should probably concentrate on, because that's going to be the thing that is going to win the day on a day like today to satisfy those things. So I'll do that exercise with you. Of course, I've never done it before, but that's what's coming through, as a just practical way to approach life. I mean, Pluto's a transformer, so it's like, in a weird way, reality, the physical reality, time can seem a little bit different every day. The success can look a little bit different every day. That's why some people, it's like if they're doing the same thing over and over again, but it's not their truth or their passion of what they really want to achieve, they're feeling dry and empty and maybe feels like they're at the end of the rope a little bit. And so this is where we got to be okay with what is the rebalancing that actually needs to come in so that we take better aligned actions that actually fit a vision of where we want to go. And I think that's the hard part too, with Jupiter retrograde and Gemini facing good aspects with that Chiron. Is kind of like, what that's not that hard do we maybe need to sacrifice for our ego to accept the facts of like where things are at, and that the distance between your perceived vision of where you want life to go and be, and the dreamy nature of things, and where are the facts at. And I think the easiest way to close the gap is to, obviously it's good to have a plan, but I think the plan is more so how do we balance out internally that mental, that emotional, that spiritual, that physical level of things. Because ultimately, one thing Pluto's definitely been teaching us is like, we've got to align with our power in order to, achieve even everything from the most basic level survival goal to all the way up to greater levels of achievement of your bigger goals, your medium goals, long-term goals. And so the easiest way to own that power is to see what level we need to work on the most to make sure that the empowerment is there. I think it's an opportunity right now, before that Mars opposes fully Pluto, to still, take care of some basic things on the home front, but also to like not get lost in those egoic comforts, to see that if you're doing something like in reality right now that's more of like a basic, just like day-to-day thing that you feel like really driven to do to create some form of emotional comfort or some form of safety in life in your reality, it should damn well also be like cross-checked with that deeper intuitive knowing, which is Pluto and Capricorn, of going, this might be good right now and make you comfortable, but is it really good for the lessons that you're meant to be learning? Because this could bring up avoidance big time for people, spiritual bypassing, emotionally just fixated on wanting to feel a certain way, which, has been a thing anyway. But this is like kind of a moment for people to not self-sabotage and take their own noose off their neck if they're thinking about, just fading and fogging out and numbing out in some weird way. It's where you don't really feel like you're strategically thinking about what are your actual marching orders, who's the captain of your ship, who's really driving the bus to where things are going. If you're operating from an unconscious program, bring that unconscious program into your conscious awareness through your intuition, through self-inquiry, by asking the question, where am I operating from right now? And then make those shifts. And I know it can feel like choppy sometimes, like maybe we want to flow in reality, and we just want to flow, or we just want to get things done, we just want to feel good, we want to connect with people, all this stuff. But it's important to take the time for the mastery steps too, of knowing where you're operating from, just to make sure that you're paying attention. So let's see what we got card-wise. Yeah, Ace of Wands. So, it's Scorpio season. We got to have the passion. We got to have the drive, So it's like, but is it good for the long term? Two of Wands. So, Pluto, you got to check in with it, right? Pluto rules Scorpio. We're in Scorpio season. And so it's like the passion should, to keep this simple, the passion should be connected to the long term. Your action should be connected to the long term. And that long term is going to be more so not really defined by some public, high level office achievement thing. It's going to be more about your faith spiritually with the Star card. It's like, you got to know what actually gives you hope and inspiration, that this isn't about playing the short-term game of just like some, goal achievement that's not actually aligned, and actually something that feels more like faith-based, spiritual, like new earth frequency. You're living a spiritual life, like your passion and your vision is connected to a deeper sense of knowing spiritually of like where things are going, even if there's a mystery to it. And there should be a mystery to it with that sun, of course, in Scorpio, and Mercury as well. So on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this, October 29th at 5 p.m. Central Time, I'm doing a special called Destiny Tug of War, How to Not Play Small. And I go into how to, based upon your sun rising sign, this is for all 12 signs, how to pay attention to what is happening now and is going to be happening all the way up until March, and how to like not hit the snooze button to where you drift off your destined path because you were getting distracted by, I'll just say it like this to keep it short, dark entities, which are everywhere. You know, they know how to plug into your weak spots or your unhealed traumas and your vices and your addictions and your patterns and all of it. It does it to everybody. How do you stay on purpose and stay on the mark to where you actually can flow to this newer frequency? It's like I'm going to be highlighting what are the things that you need to pay attention to really avoid. And then God's going to open a door for everyone of like an escape route to not get caught in this craziness that is coming in March. People think like the election's going to be crazy in North America. It's the stuff that comes after. 2025 is the craze maze. So you can get that through that link down below. And of course, if you want to get an astrology reading, you can click on that other link down below. Astrology School will be there if you want to learn. If you want to just learn your natal chart, there's an ebook that I put out that's $33. You can click on that. And then, I'll leave the Pluto and Capricorn special up for a little while longer because we still got a few weeks left of that. So there's still relevance for your sun rising sign with that of just, you know, how's Pluto impacting you? So I would still get in on that if you haven't already too, because Pluto always has a final hidden lesson at the end. And so it's worth paying attention to what that could be for your sun rising sign. So love you all. See you on the next horoscope.